Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's live. I'm Michaela Patterson. If you don't know me, I'm part of High Point Companies out of Northern Colorado, and I'm an ambassador on the Women of FWA's team. I also have Yadira with Las Vegas Fence as well, also an ambassador on the Women of FWA team. And today we are joined by Mandie Turner with American Fence Company. Mandie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So we did do a Women of FWA Women's Spotlight, and Mandie was this quarter's winner. It was so hard to pick. We had so many good nominations, but Mandie really stood out to us because she practically started like from the bottom, and now she's here. So I'm so excited to dive in and kind of get to know you a little bit more, as well as introduce you to everybody else.
Awesome.
Yes. So I guess
thank you for taking the time to be here today. It really means a lot to us to have other women kind of get to know us a little bit and join us in this in this crazy adventure that we've been on with the Women of FWA.
Crazy for sure. Okay, well, Mandie, American Fence Company, you want to tell us a little bit about who you guys are, what you do, where you're located?
Yeah, we're out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, not to be confused with the other American Fence Company that's nationwide. We had the name first back in 1964, and then someone else in Arizona started one, and then we get their mail, and they get ours all the time.
Okay, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for making that clear, because the moment I saw your email that it said American Fence, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is the National American Fence Company that's
We're a small mom and pop shop here in Oklahoma City. We're actually one of the biggest fencing companies in Oklahoma City. We have amazing owners and an office staff. We're like a huge family around here. Everybody's willing to help everybody. That's how I was able to go from starting at the bottom to estimating, because everybody was willing to teach me. I didn't know what a fork latch was, y'all, when I started. I started in the accounting and admin side. I just love to learn. So I would sit and listen every time somebody would come up with an issue or a problem, and they would just let me stand there and listen to them. And that's what really helped propel me to where I am.
So you said you guys started in 1962? 1964. Okay. So you've been with the fence company since when?
I'm coming up on 2 years, hit September.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Not long.
So in that, those 2 years, you have, according to your nomination, have actually really, really gone from here to here. So yes. I love that.
Yes. Yeah. In less than 2 years, I've been in 5 positions.
Wow.
Isn't that impressive?
That is very impressive, because it took me a long time to really, really get to know the material.
Yeah. I read that and I was like, wow, like that's quick.
Yeah.
That's what people keep telling me. So I just love to learn. I always have. I am the nerd, even though I don't look like the typical nerd, so to speak. I'm just anything that I can learn new. I love to learn. So I just took it and ran with it.
That's great. What do you guys specialize in at American Fence Company?
We're all commercial. That's all we do.
Okay.
Is commercial. We used to do residential, but the owner said that he didn't feel like he could pay his people enough to support them without just going full-blown commercial. And so we pretty much specialize in chain link first off. It's a huge one. Definitely the ornamental iron, especially being in Oklahoma where Ameristar is manufactured. That's huge around here. So I would definitely say those are our 2 biggest. We do tap into vinyl and all that if anybody wants it, but Oklahoma wind and vinyl don't go hand in hand very well.
Yeah. We're kind of the same thing with us too. Like vinyl just doesn't hold up here in Las Vegas, too hot, but our primary thing is chain link. So you must know a lot about chain link. Do you do takeoffs and stuff?
Yes. Yeah. I'm in full blown estimating. So I had to learn everything every single piece to chain link and to vinyl and to, the ornamental iron and how many line brackets. And it just,
Yeah.
it's been a journey, but it's been a great one. I love it. It's probably my funnest job I think I've ever had in my life. And I never thought construction was down my alley, but
yeah. So what were you doing prior to coming on board?
I worked at a doctor's office and managed his office.
Oh, wow.
What a career change.
Yeah.
Completely different, huh?
Yeah, it was a culture shock. I am married to a blue collar worker, so I'm very much used to that. I'm not used to a lot of the shop talk.
Yeah.
But I got used to it. These guys are some of the greatest guys I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
They absolutely are. And I wouldn't be where I am without them. Our field workers are phenomenal.
Yeah. How many crews are you guys running?
I think we're running 5 right now.
Okay. Cool. Is it just you who's in sales, or you have other salespeople?
Oh, no, there's 3 other estimators.
3 of them. Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's why there's so many desks behind me. We're currently expanding our building, but it's in the process of construction right now. So we all have to share an office.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is why we had to do this after hours to not have the crowd.
That's exciting though, expanding, right?
It is.
You're growing. That's really good. Yadira?
So, Mandie, is this, since you guys have been in business for so long, has the company like passed on from like one owner to like another generation, or is it just the same owner?
No, this owner bought it 20 years ago. So the history before that, I'm unaware.
Gotcha.
But he's owned it for the last 20 years.
Okay. Well, that's
Long.
That's interesting to see that, because I think a lot of fence companies, from what I understand, just kind of get passed on from generation to generation. So that's very cool.
Well, I can tell you he didn't set out to have a fence company. He went to purchase a building downtown Oklahoma City, and unbeknownst to him, once they were going to sign on the dotted line, they said, "Oh, you get this business plus this other building."
No way.
Yeah, he didn't know anything about fence. He taught himself everything, and he has built this company up from a one-man crew up to the 5 that we're running now.
That's impressive. I mean, especially considering that a lot of men who are in the industry kind of have been in the industry for so long, but to just acquire it with the building and not know anything about it, I can only imagine the stories.
Yeah, there's some good ones, but I'll let him tell those.
Part 2, American Fence Company.
Right?
How many people do you have working there? Did you say? I know we talked
30.
about crews, about 30.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
I want to know more about you though, Mandie. Kind of who you are outside of the fence world.
A mom of 6, a grandma of 2 with 1 on the way, a wife to my best friend of 30 years, and a country girl at heart. I may get my nails done, but I'm digging in the dirt when I get home in my garden.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What do you grow in your garden?
So definitely tomatoes, all kinds of peppers, because my family's obsessed with everything hot.
Yeah.
Except for me. I do it for them. Zucchini, cucumbers, just the basics. We're expanding the garden. It's just not big enough yet to hold everything I want. I want to grow my own wheat and corn and everything else as well. But I want to be self-sustaining and have foods that actually taste good and aren't covered in pesticides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. It's crazy how much stuff goes in our foods and then it enters our bodies. Yucky.
Yeah. My husband's always like, you could be like a homestead wife. And I'm like, Dalton, I'm trying to keep this one plant alive.
In all fairness, I just started 3 years ago. So, because I never had a plant in my house. And now I'm growing gardens and learning how to tend to them. And
wow, so you found a new passion in the last couple of years for fencing and gardening then.
yeah, fencing passion, yes. Gardening, not so much. Gardening's just a means to feed us the right way. I'm still trying to grow that green thumb. I'm still asking the Lord to help me have a passion for it. But right now, it's just that necessity, you know, to make sure that my family gets fed well.
Yeah. Do you guys have any like livestock?
Not yet.
No.
I have chickens.
Okay.
But that's about as far as we've expanded. We got to clear some more of our land off before we can. So the husband definitely wants a horse. I want the cow.
Uh-huh.
We'll end up with both.
Cows, that's always, I don't know. It's like a woman thing, you know? I think every woman just like wants a cow for some reason.
Well, I love cows. Not just for the milk. It's just, I love cows.
They're just so cute.
They are. My mouse pad's a big old Highland cow as we speak. So, and my grandbaby gets her pictures taken tonight. She just turned 1 and she gets to take them with a Highland cow.
Oh, how cute.
So cute.
Very excited to go see that.
So Mandie, coming from, I guess, an entirely different world where you were at before into the fencing world, what are 1 or 2 things that you can say it's pretty similar? And
similar like to my old job?
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. From the corporate world that I came from into here is really the same. I mean, it was a complete culture shock, but in a good way. So this has been an amazing transition for me, and I don't plan on leaving the industry.
I love that. So you were you said in a doctor's
office, yeah.
Office?
Yeah, running his office.
Okay, so what are a couple of things that are, you said it's completely different, nothing the same?
No, you go from HIPAA laws at a doctor's office and patients and confidentiality and paperwork. Oh my word, paperwork.
Yeah.
To here. And I think the biggest thing that I love the most, and I hate to say this, is for the last 20 years, I've always been in management. And here I get to just show up, be told what to do, and get to go home. And that's been huge.
Oh, wow. That's got to be completely different for sure.
I don't have to carry the weight of the company, you know? So I have the utmost respect for my general manager. She is a female in this industry and is running this place. Of course, in the very beginning, there was apprehension from some men because they didn't want to work for a woman.
Yeah.
They have since found employment elsewhere, but everybody else here loves her. She pushes us all to be the best that we can be.
Yeah.
And I love that. I don't think I've ever worked directly underneath a female. It's always been a male or me being in charge. So it's been really nice to just come to work, do my job, enjoy it, and get to go home without all the stress.
Now, is she the one who nominated you?
She is, and she didn't tell me. I didn't find out until I got Michaela's email that I won. Yeah. So it was really nice, though, she sent me what she wrote afterwards. And it was really nice I didn't know that I was how do I rephrase that? I didn't know she felt that way about me, you know? Mm-hmm. So it was very touching. It actually made me cry when I read it.
It was very sweet. Even just like our brief emails back and forth with each other, she seems so sweet and so genuine.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
She absolutely is. She's very sweet and genuine. So it's been a treat working here.
I love that. Ugh. Ladies.
So outside of that, what else do you enjoy doing?
I am a Bible-fearing, Bible-thumping. I always have it with me. I always read it. I study because I'm called to teach it. So I was running a women's group that got a little bit, I had a little too much on my plate for a little while, and I need to start that back up again. But that is what I do. I came from a background of not knowing the Lord and found him sitting in a jail cell when I was 30 and completely wrecked and changed my life. So
Wow.
that is absolutely what I do when I'm not working. And even over lunch, I'm studying and reading. If you pop up my window over here right now on my other monitor, it's in Deuteronomy chapter 3 as we speak. So
Good for you.
Listen, I had a rough background in childhood. And so to know me now versus knowing me then, I'm two completely different people.
Wow.
And so when the Lord reached down and saved me in a jail cell, I completely changed my life for him.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Mandie.
Well, it changed my family's life too. My mom found Christ. My dad did. Now he's a pastor.
Oh.
It took me going through hell and back though, but my whole family's changed. I'd do it all over again.
Yeah.
So that is my absolute main focus in this life, is spreading the gospel.
Good for you. Yeah.
Do you guys go to the same church that your dad's a pastor at?
Of course. Do you think he's going to let me go anywhere else?
So in Wellington, where we live, we have families who are like, the dad's the pastor and everything, and they go to different churches, and we always like think that's so weird because we get like the gossip from like both churches, and I'm like, why are you not at your dad's church?
No, I'm at my daddy's church, and my husband's the assistant pastor now. He got his pastoral about 1.5 or 2 years ago. So God just completely transformed my entire family. And it's been such a blessing. And now my kids are raised in church.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, Mandie, what are some of the goals that you have in possibly for the rest of this year and going on to like long-term goals?
My prayer when I came up here was, Lord, please don't let me lose this company money. And please keep these guys working. And now with the economy being the way that it is and construction down, what is it, 15% across the board?
Yes.
Fencing's always the first to get cut. From a project. Unfortunately, we had 3 contracts back out from funding.
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that my goal as far as the job is to keep those guys working and to not lose this company money. Because, it's kind of fearful when you're not from the industry and you're still learning and they throw you up here to push out. In the first 6 months, I've pushed out over $3.1 million worth of estimates. And so I don't know if that's impressive or not. I don't know the standard. I just know that it's very terrifying every time you send one off, especially a huge one. And you're like, oh, no. We have a saying around here, you win a job because you forgot something.
It's a lot of pressure on a salesperson for sure.
Yes. And this is the one position when I first started, when they asked me, if there's any position in this company you would not want, what is it?
Estimating.
This one, but I love it. I absolutely love it. It took time of learning and getting more familiar with the fencing and everything, but I absolutely love estimating. But I've always been good with numbers. Accounting's what I've done my entire life.
Yeah.
So, but it's still nerve-wracking. You send off a $500,000 bid and you're wondering what you forgot, especially when they come back and say, hey, you won it.
You won it.
I have not won one that big. Okay.
Yeah.
Only 122,000 is my highest so far. But even then I went back and immediately after I found out I won, went back through all of the plans, my takeoff, everything to see if I missed anything, because I sure did not want to.
Yeah. Do you have it where you kind of, with your other salespeople, your other estimators, you kind of check each other's work to see whether you missed something or not?
So we have a policy. Anything over 100,000 has to be checked by someone else. Just to kind of make sure that we don't forget something.
Yeah.
So.
And it happens sometimes, unfortunately. I mean, I guess that's what change orders are for. But if you can avoid change orders, obviously, we don't like to do them, but.
No, I get it. I have a signed contract sitting here right now. And it's one of the first ones I got. And I absolutely forgot to put the operators on it. That was a $15,000 oopsie.
Yeah.
I truly believe, though, by God's grace, after 4 months, because this is fully signed and executed, the GC reached back out and asked what it would cost to put those on there, and he's going to issue a change order where he didn't have to. And
Yeah.
you can't tell me that's not the favor of God. Like, you just can't.
Mm-hmm.
So I was terrified, though, and especially terrified to have the general manager tell the owner, and then she does it right in front of me, and I'm just like white faced. I'm like, oh my gosh. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure to like you said, to make sure that you didn't miss something, and then also to make sure that you keep your crews busy, because I think it's if they're not working, it's the absolute worst. So
it takes every
money. Yeah.
It takes every one of us. I wouldn't have a job without them out there busting their butts in that hot heat and the cold winters. I don't want to do that. I'm pampered. I like the AC and the heater. But I'm so grateful for them for being willing to. Yeah. And I try to make it a point to show them that too. And I'll stop by like Brahms and pick them all up breakfast just to say thank you, you know, because I wouldn't have this position.
Yeah, exactly. Them. Yeah. Yeah. Do you run into any issues sometimes when I guess communication in an industry, in a fence company, is what's obviously most important in any business. So have you run into any issues where maybe something that you bid on paper is not what was expressed out to the customer, and having issues with your communication with your installers?
No. So we do things a little different around here. A lot of companies, the estimators also project manage their files. We don't do that.
Okay.
We have project managers specific to handle our files for us. We make it a clear point that if the customer specifically wants something this way, when I tell you these files are thick, we have Google pictures and everything written on them. So by the time it gets down to the project manager, he knows exactly what the customer wants. You know, but there is always that time when you get out into the field and something is going to have to be changed, you know, because if the grade was too hilly and, you know, we couldn't go into this one particular section, so we had to go right around it, or property lines ran right into that. Sure. Weirdest property line went right through the neighbor's concrete. Yeah. So we had to do this very weird jot of a fence into the asphalt or into the concrete parking spots to stay off the property line. I don't think one job honestly always goes through smoothly. There's something, there's a hiccup somewhere, but that's just part of the industry.
It is true. And with every job, I feel like you learn something new.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? No job is the same, and I feel like with every job you learn something new for sure.
Absolutely.
It'd be so boring though if every job was the same, you know?
You're not kidding. It would be. I like the challenges. I've always liked being challenged. And so especially when I get a new piece of fence that I don't know anything about, the first thing I do is research every bit of it. You know, so it takes that bid a little bit longer. Sometimes I'm pushing my deadlines, but they still manage to get done. But you can't sell something you don't know what it is. So lots and lots of research.
Yeah. Mandie, will you or your company be at the fence show this year?
I will not. I don't know about the company. I would have to ask the general manager.
Okay.
So I'm unaware if anybody's attending.
Yeah. Well, I thought it would be cool if you were coming so that we could hang out, but it's fine. I'll just be upset about it.
Where is the fence show? In Vegas?
Yeah.
What is October 1st through 3rd? Yeah.
Yes, October 1st through the 3rd. Are there any other shows that you guys attend, or any other networking events that you guys attend?
To be honest, I don't know. It's not something that's really been discussed. I'm upstairs. The big wigs are downstairs. And so I don't know if they do. It hadn't really been talked about. I know we get the gigantic fencing magazine every month that we all sit down and read and go through, but I don't know about events.
There's just so many. I feel like every time I open any social media, there's like another event going on, and I'm just like, how do people keep up with all of this?
That's funny.
There's a lot. Well, Yadira, anything else you want to say, or Mandie, anything else you would like to say
I
before
just
we
want to say
kind of?
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you,
thank
ladies.
you.
No, it has been great chatting with you guys, and I'm really glad that we get to introduce somebody new to the women of FWA. So thank you very much, Mandie, for taking the time to be here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And before we go, I need to do housekeeping. So if I don't, Susan will send me a text and say, you didn't do anything. So Women of FWA are looking for sponsorships for our 2026 Women's Retreat in Branson,
Missouri.
Yep. Also, sponsorships for this year's Fence Show as well. If you are interested in sponsoring, make sure you send us an email to womenofwwa@gmail.com and we will get back to you. Again, thank you so much, Mandie, for joining us. Thank you, Yadira, for also joining me as well on this.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
See you guys next week.